Hello everybody, Ace here, giving it to you straight with day 47 of the Video Log Challenge, and today I wanted to talk to you about the living kingdom and how I believe we can gain admittance into the living kingdom, which is heaven on earth, which is from within, correct? So, today's been a rough day, not gonna lie. I had to work through some stuff, very grateful for it. It brought me a lot of clarity, and it also really helped me release a lot. So today's not going to be as much a flow per se. It's taken me several hours just to get onto this video, but I'm going to read what I wrote after making it through the other side of my tunnel. My tunnels used to last months. Now they last hours, and I'm very grateful for that. And this was one of the darkest tunnels I've been in a while. And on the other side of it, I feel like I am better. So last night when I was meditating and channeling from my guides and everything like that, they got me talking about the temple. They got me learning more about how we can gain access to the living kingdom through these vehicles, these God vehicles, as the fractals of God that we are. This is what I wrote. The temple is more than the body. It also entails the multidimensional mind. If the body, brain are physically riddled with toxicity, then the mind simply won't be right. Because the temple needs to be clear of non-natural things such as pharmaceutical drugs, alcohol, and potentially even caffeine. It's unverified. It's a theory of mine. In order to gain admittance into the kingdom, we must get our minds clear of negative thoughts. Negative thoughts will taint the kingdom. One must maintain a high enough resonance to access the kingdom. Negative thoughts will not allow for a high enough resonance. If we have negative thoughts, if we have separation, if we have fear, then we will not be allowed to enter the kingdom, even though we have gained access to it. It's a step-by-step process. Our resonance is achieved through our temples. The choices we make and the actions we take determine our resonance, especially interpersonal choices and actions that we take. In order to raise our frequency, we must choose what we need for ourselves more than the ego wants that we have, which are, I want to go eat that because I have a craving. I want to go do this because I want to distract. That's what I meant by the ego. In order to raise our vibration, we must decide on actions that reflect our inner world. Because actions are what we create through. The decisions we make on what actions to take are the literal idea of co-creation and the foundation of free will. The reason the Holy Trinity starts from within is because how we treat ourselves will reflect in the actions we take to create the resonance for what we attract in our lives. By making better interpersonal choices, we inevitably begin making better external decisions on which actions to take within our lives. When we create synergy between our inner worlds and outer worlds, this creates the change of which raises the resonance we exist in. It's almost like a battery light, a generator being wound up with a crank. When our choices and decisions synchronize repeatedly, it becomes the pistons in the engine of our manifestation. When everything is tuned correctly, the oil's clean, the gasoline pure, the spark plugs in pristine condition, the vehicle purrs like a kitten, and it's a dream to ride in, and even waiting in traffic isn't all that bad. But just like a janky jalopy, when the axle is off and the timing belt squeals, the AC doesn't work, and you have to jump start the engine once a week, the vehicle is a pain and hassle to use. But at the end of the day, it's the only vehicle we have, and it's the vehicle we have to use. So why not make the necessary choices and decisions to make it suck as less as possible? Because the first vehicle is how you get to where you're going. The second vehicle I talked about is how you stay exactly where you are. If the goal is to gain admittance into the living kingdom, then we have to get the vehicle right. Because this vehicle isn't only to get around in. It's not just to look good in either. It's meant to experience in as well. And when you come more into alignment with your true self through the synergization of choice and decision, action, you become a creator being again. We've given up our sovereignty. We've given up our ability to create. and we then move into our lower vibrational state and drone on. That's all childhood innocence is. Gaining your ability to create back, which occurred when you still had access to your higher self, before your temple was so mucked up that it closed down the connection to God. The reason the mind must stay clear of negative thoughts is because the living kingdom exists in a different density. Negativity, fear, separation are all 3D thoughts and vibrations. Those are the energy vibration of the third dimension. Yet when we begin to clear our temple, we'll see that the most of these negative thoughts, if not all of them, weren't even ours to begin with. Then as you gain even more synergy and travel between density levels of conscious thought, you see that only through our choices and decisions do we open ourselves up for those negative thoughts to transfix us, to fall victim to. It's one thing to have a negative thought and to let it go. That's a choice and decision of the fifth dimension. The negative thoughts are nothing more than fish hooks to pull us back down to the third density level. We give our consent, and then the energy vortex begins. It's always a choice. And if it feels like there isn't one, then there's a rooted trauma down there that needs to be addressed, especially if the negative thought rabbit hole manifests in you making then more poor decisions externally to continue the cascade down in frequency and vibration, what we also call fall from grace. There is only a living hell and a living heaven. Everything outside form is perfect, but even for our higher selves, this is a stressful time. But just like when we were 8 years old in Little League or playing a board game, there was still real competition in a more concentrated kiddie-type way. We're toddlers in this. And everything is only as serious as the level you view it from. We have to remember negative thoughts aren't bad, they are just. Temper tantrums aren't bad, they are just. Being human isn't bad, we just are. Being human means that all of this is okay because it's never been done before. We are the creators of this experience. It doesn't matter what timeline we're on for the future because we're the ones creating it in the now. It doesn't exist until a human being manifests it, or the earth Gaia grows it, or the universe sends an external object or being to us. We are the ones making it real for the rest of the world. That's why there is a war on our attention and our minds, because all there truly is to this existence is our thoughts. So we have to clear our temples, become the creator beings again, and see what happens. Please prove me right. I don't really have anything else to say other than that. I still have to even kind of go back and look at that and see what it really means to me. I write and I channel, I do these videos and I channel sometimes beings, but sometimes I think it's just what the universe is trying to explain to us. What the universe is trying to get us to really let go, surrender, and accept. Because that's what my battle today was all about. I just couldn't accept, I couldn't surrender, I couldn't let go of the storyline and narratives of my past, of the fears of my past, of there's not enough, I'm not enough, and everything's not enough. But everything is perfect, and that's what they reminded me of today. And I'm pretty sure they helped put me through that situation so that I can then have the contrast to see what it really is all about. So if you liked what you've seen and heard today, hit that like button. If you want to join the Army of Energy, hit that subscribe button. Again, hit me up on Gmail if you want to talk to me or throw a comment in. I hope you get a little bit further on your path today. I hope you gain a little bit more clarity on your journey. And I really hope that these words that I really just came from my heart and my soul, I hope they mean something to you. And I hope that they help you on your path a little bit further so you can bring a little more love into yourself, let yourself off the hook for being human, and allow this to be perfect as it is. So with that, I'll talk to you tomorrow at the same time. Have a great day. Have a great evening. Goodbye.